Topic Podcast, formerly known as True Star Radio. Today we're here with Amaya,
Angela.
And Makai.
and today we're going to be talking about should remakes happen. And me personally, I don't think remakes should happen, but it depends. It really depends.
I agree.
What
It
about you?
depends because it's really just a hit or miss. Like some things are just they need to be left alone, and some things, people leave people wanting more. Like I want more. Give me some more. So I think remakes are imperative in those type of situations.
Me, I think it depends. If we're talking about shows that leaves off with cliffhangers, I feel like they should definitely have a remake or something that connects to the show. But as far as making like a classic, a remake to a classic, I feel like that's just not necessary, and it kind of throws off like the whole, gist to everything.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes I feel like a lot of directors and producers, they want it for the money, because if a lot of people are asking you to do a remake, it's for the money, and so sometimes it's not as good because they just want to put it out there, and that sometimes can be bad for money and income out there.
Definitely. One thing that I could say would be good about a remake, or a good example of a remake, was definitely Raven's Home, because of how That's So Raven was just so popular. Everybody loved that show. And when they introduced the whole idea of it being like a spinoff or a remake, everyone was like, oh my God, it'll be so good, because of the fact that it just brings back so many nostalgic memories. And Raven's Home, I think it was a good, start to it, but then it started getting a little sidetracked, I guess. I didn't really like them. I didn't really like it after like the first 2 seasons. So
Yeah, well, Raven's Home, I watched one season of it. Haven't watched it since then. And I don't know, it was kind of iffy. It was good in the beginning, but I just couldn't continue to watch it.
I can't say that I hate it. I think they did a good job, because it could have been way worse. But when you're repeating exactly what happened in That's So Raven, it's like, okay, time to kind of. That's why I think people got tired of it, because when you have your son doing exactly what you did, they have the comedy and stuff, and then it gets corny at some point. So yeah.
You know what's another good remake to me? Girl Meets World. That show is just so awesome.
Yes.
And it's a good remake because the ratings from Girl Meets World and Boys Meets World was similar. They both had good ratings, and they have the same cast.
Everybody, and that's the thing. I think that's what makes a show. Like, if you're going to do a remake, I think you should have everybody, the same cast in the next, series or whatever, because it starts getting kind of boring and the message gets lost when they add all these new people. Like, okay, I get everybody has kids or whatever, but I think you should stick with the core cast, or else the viewings are going to go down.
I agree, because especially with certain characters, when you have the dynamic between certain characters, when you bring those back, it's that really brings the nostalgia to older watchers when they get something remade, and that's what gets more audience when you have the older watchers and newer watchers. So yeah.
I think it depends on the audience too. Like you said, the older watchers and the newer watchers, because my mom, she used to watch Boy Meets World, and she was like, oh my God, Topanga, Corey, all of them are still on there. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't know you watched that. So it also brings a connection to like you said, the older generation and the newer generation.
Yeah, definitely. When it comes to the older generation, when Lion King came out, I know my dad was going crazy over that. We was at the movies the first week it came out. It was lines and stuff. And when I went in, I know it didn't give it really didn't give. I know when you remake something, it was basically the same exact storyline, just live action, which I mean is good. What are you supposed to change? But I don't know. It just didn't give.
Y'all want me to be honest? Oh, you can go, Amaya. I'm sorry.
I don't think some movies should be made into live action. If the movie was good, what's the point of making a live action? Keep it the cartoon, keep it the same. Watching remakes nowadays is so hard because it's we don't watch TV as much, we don't go to the movies as much, so it's less likely of a chance we're gonna end up watching it.
Yeah.
I would say Lion King, the one that just came out in 2019. I don't know. I didn't really like it. I guess they was trying to do something different with the whole the non-cartoon, whatever, but I personally didn't like it. I mean, of course, Beyonce was in it.
Yeah, well, I would say it also depends on the cast. Like the fact they had Beyonce and they had Seth Rogen playing like as main characters. I feel like having those voices, it also adds to like if I want to watch it. Like, do I want to watch that? Like, who's the cast? So I feel like having Beyonce, that really brought in more watchers as well.
Yeah.
I feel like, well, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I did not watch the live action Lion King, but it's like, how am I supposed to watch that? I don't get the whole live action of Lion King. Like they use real lions. Like I'm just like, I don't want to watch that if it's real lions. Like
I couldn't see any of, and me, like I'm the type of watcher where I have to see your mouth moving. If it's like an animated, thing, I have to see your mouth moving. And if your mouth is not moving, I'm just going to be lost. So that's how I was when the real Lion King was I was like, okay, what's next?
I think another thing that shouldn't be remade is SpongeBob because first off, SpongeBob had 100,000 seasons, and now y'all talking about remaking the show. First off, the creator didn't even want the show remade. Y'all gonna wait till he passed away to try and remake the show. It ain't even gonna be as good because it's not by the same person. And then it's like, who is gonna watch that? Like,
yeah, definitely. I feel like I know a lot of people that have told me that when they were younger they weren't allowed to watch SpongeBob, and so I'm sitting here thinking like, what would make that like you can't watch SpongeBob? But apparently there's like a lot of like adult hidden themes in there or whatever that like only adults or older people will understand. So I feel like now in this generation, like you won't have those little things that will will secretly know. I feel like because the generation, I feel like kind of more sensitive. You got to watch what you say. So I don't know if I'm definitely not finna watch that. I won't even.
It's gonna be boring.
I never watched SpongeBob, so.
Were you one of those people you couldn't watch it?
No, I didn't watch it because I didn't find it interesting.
I watched
the type of person that watched like the Bratz dolls and Barbie.
Oh my!
That should have a remake. Barbie has a remake.
Yes.
Barbie remake is good. The Barbie on Netflix, that's a good show. I'll be watching it with my little sister.
Yes, and they put a lot of life messages in there. Like that was so
yes,
good.
yes. And then y'all heard about Dr. Seuss? All his books getting banned.
Oh yeah, a lot of people have been saying it's controversial. But did y'all know that he actually came out with an apology, like before he passed away? He came out with an apology because he knew those things would kind of be offensive.
Never heard anything like that.
I mean, he wrote them books back in the time where all that racism stuff was happening, so it was just natural for him.
Yeah, I would also say though, it was some things. I feel like I won't even lie. I think this generation is very sensitive. Like back then, it's more things that it was just like we understood that it was a joke. But now for like the generation, I feel like I'm not gonna say took advantage of like some of the power that was given to them, but sometimes it's like it's not something to really be angry over. But it's also controversial because the in the book it said it had something to do with a Chinese man using chopsticks to eat.
Oh my God.
I think I'm back to that sensitivity stuff. Like Boondocks can't get recreated because people are so sensitive. Because it's satire, but people nowadays are gonna take offense to everything that's said in Boondocks. So like they can't even remake that show if they wanted to.
Yeah, cancel culture is cutthroat nowadays.
Well, if I was a parent, I don't think I would want my child watching Boondocks.
I mean, it was an adult comedy,
right?
Like, it wasn't a children's show; it was an adult comedy. But even nowadays, adults, like the people who are adults now, wouldn't even be able to watch it. Like 20-some-year-olds.
It was never really targeted towards children. I just know I snuck and watched it, but it was never really for children. So I think now, like Amaya said, now that of course it's gonna be for adults, but adults are the sensitive ones. So yeah.
Icarly, how y'all feel about that?
Well,
I feel like throw it away, put it in the trash because Sam not even on it.
Okay, and there's a lot of controversy with that as well, with the director and a lot of allegations against him being abusive, sexually abusive, all that. So I wouldn't really want that anyway because it's too much negativity behind that.
Right. Why would you even go back to the show and all that stuff happened?
And that's what I would say. Like, if there's been a whole bunch of controversy about, things happening amongst the cast. I feel like you should just not want to remake it because everybody's going to be thinking about that as like they're seeing these characters, act with one another. They're going to be like, this is fake. So, right, like y'all said, I don't feel like it should be remake to that. And then Sam is not even on there, y'all. Like that's
Sam already had her remake.
Right.
So Sam and Cat was the remake. They don't need to make nothing else.
Right.
Yeah, so Dan Schneider, the director of Icarly, we don't mess with him, so we don't want more of that. We're just gonna leave that where it is. We're gonna look back, watch it. We're gonna watch it on Netflix, but that's gonna be the end of that. We'll leave that at that.
I've been watching it on Netflix too, and it's like that stuff is low key, not for kids. Like the stuff they be saying, Nickelodeon just be hiding so many little jokes in there.
I know I used to watch with my mama.
What?
A Different World. I used to love watching
My
A
mom
Different
loved
World.
that show. I used to watch it. I watched one episode of it. I never really watched it after that.
Hey, my mama loved that show, but I like if it was on TV, I'd watch it or something, but I wouldn't even realize it was A Different World.
Well, they're making a remake today. It's called The Cosby Show. How do y'all feel about that? Well, I know y'all didn't watch it, but since I watched it, I like to speak on it. I hope it's still based, at a college. But I don't know. It's a hit or miss, honestly.
Yeah.
Did it if it's gonna be like Boy Meets World and Girl Meets World, then it should be a good show.
See, that's the thing. You can't I try to be optimistic about these shows that I used to really love, but it's really hard. Like, especially after the first episode, it just be like too much going on. I just get lost all the time.
They just need to keep the same characters and hopefully it'll be all right.
Speaking back on 90s shows, Prince of BelAir, how do y'all feel about that being remade?
That's being remade?
I don't know. I'm just saying. What do y'all think about that?
Leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Will Smith don't even look the same no more.
He's still fan though. Don't play with that man.
He's still fan.
He not.
But y'all, that's pretty much our opinions on about things being remade. It's a hit or miss. And thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to True Topic with Amaya,
Angela,
and Makai. Peace out, y'all.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hey friends, it's Erin from True Start. I'm not here outside, just enjoying the sun and telling you guys about what I want to do, like my first